This is it, guys. My E90 single turbo 335 is about to get a massive, and I do mean massive, upgrade today. This build has not been cheap. It's been a pretty extensive build. We've gone all the way so far. Fully forged Titan 7 wheels, R888R tires, Dock Race DR700 bottom mount single turbo kit, all the fuel upgrades we need, all the maintenance done, AST suspension. The goal here is to put down all of the power that I'm making with this car, which is over 700 horsepower to the wheel. And with today's upgrade, which is right over there, we should be able to do that without having to worry about breaking anything. Well, technically, after doing this massive upgrade, the 6-speed manual transmission will probably be the only weak point on this car. But let's not worry about that now. Let me show you guys exactly what we're doing to the car today. Everything you guys see here on the table is pretty much an indestructible, unbreakable drivetrain upgrade for the E90X 335, E90X M3, and the 135. This is a complete Ford 8.8 swap kit from Seems Legit Garage. The best part about this kit is that it's completely bolt-on with little to no modification needed to install this onto your car. Let's first talk about the heart of the entire kit here, the Ford 8.8 limited slip differential. These are found in various Ford vehicles, older ones, and these are used on a lot of different platforms to really put power down. They're pretty much indestructible. Seems Legit Garage includes these brackets that they make in order to fit this properly onto the 3 cars that I mentioned earlier today, and you have this bracket as well, so that makes it possible. One of the biggest complaints most 335 owners have is that there's no LSD options for any of the models, even the top of the line 335 ISs. They all come with open differentials, which are a hit or miss when it comes to putting the big power down onto the road. You guys know about the infamous annoying one-wheel peel outs you get with these cars. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that online. Well, this LSD is going to solve that issue. Unlike stopping at a local junkyard and picking up a cheap Ford 8.8 LSD with a questionable history, Seems Legit Garage pretty much does all the hard work for you. They rebuilt the pumpkin, they add a carbon clutch, and they modify the gear ratio to your liking. So my E90 from factory, the 6-speed manual, it comes with a ratio of 3.8, I believe. The automatic's 346, and then the DCTs are all the way down at 256, but that's because they have 7 gears. I decided to stick with 3.8, which is the same that I'm rocking here on the E90. I'm sure sticking to the same ratio that I have on my E90 is probably a unpopular opinion. Even the guys at Seems Legit Garage told me to go up to a 327. Essentially, it's like free torque. The car feels faster, it's more responsive. I'm sure the turbo spools up a lot faster, but I daily drive my E90. I spend a lot of time on the highway, 6 gear, you know, the RPM level kind of climbs at 70 miles an hour. At a 327 or even higher, it means the RPMs are going to be much higher, and since I have a straight pipe system, I'm probably going to get a lot of drone, which is something I do not want. Plus, I'm very happy with how long my 3rd gear is, so I don't want to change the dynamics of the car too much. Let's move on to this massive piece of metal. This is an aluminum 1-piece drive shaft, unlike the traditional ones on our cars, which are 2 pieces. You got the rear portion that transfers power to the second one. This is 1 piece, so ideally you should get more direct power since there's not 2 pieces, it's just 1 solid piece. I'll give you guys a closer look so you guys can see the quality of the build. On the drive shaft, the welds look really nice. Very good quality, guys, and the most impressive part is how light it is. One hand, I can lift it up. It's not heavy at all. We talked about the LSD, we talked about the drive shaft. Now let's go ahead and move on to these beefy, and I do mean beefy, axles from G-Force. Apparently these are indestructible, so much so that the company stands behind their product and offers a lifetime warranty. Guys, talk about reliability. For you guys that want to do digs, want to do quarter-mile runs at the drag strip, this is the ultimate upgrade right here. They look very good as well. I cannot wait to upgrade the crappy axles that I have on the 335i with these ones. You also get instructions for the kit. Should be pretty simple to install according to Seems Legit Garage. You do get some stickers in the box as well, and of course all the hardware, which I'm not really going to go over, but you guys will see this all being installed in this video. Well, I'm not sure if we'll get through everything in one video. It's probably going to be a 2-part video, possibly a 3. We'll see how that goes. I'm shooting for 2 videos. We'll get the E90 onto the lift here, start dropping subframe, see how far we get, and should be an exciting video. I understand that this kit may not be for everybody. It does have a pretty hefty price tag, but considering everything that you get, the full bolt-on application, the quality in parts, the ease of mind when it comes to reliability when putting power down, like, this is the best kit out there, guys. If you're serious about drifting your car, taking your car to the drag strip, doing excessive launches, maybe even some crazy burnouts, it just doesn't get better than this kit from Seems Legit Garage. They were able to partner up with me on this video. So if you guys are interested in the kit and want to save $150, you can use my code VehicleVirals. I'll leave links down in the description below. You guys want to see some driving action with the 700 horsepower 335? Well, it's finally going to happen once we install all of this, guys. We're going to have a lot of videos showcasing exactly how much power we can put down on the road with the setup. I always get this question on my videos. Where's the E36 that you purchased a while ago? Guys, I sold it to Ali and he modified it. It's his E36 now. Trying to put on gloves after just washing my hands, it's like almost impossible. What the? So once you get the shields off here, exposes the drive shaft, you got a few bolts right here. That's gonna allow you to remove it. This bracket here that keeps it up. Like I was explaining earlier today, the two-piece thing where one powers the other one versus the one-piece one that's just gonna be a direct power output back to the LSD. We'll disconnect this here, and then the entire subframe, once we drop it, everything comes down. Assuming you got the right tools, it's pretty straightforward. I've seen Seems Legit Garage do this on jack stands on their channel, so it's very doable for sure. The next thing to do is to do the brake lines, and then we'll move on to the axles. This would probably be the perfect opportunity to upgrade these to stainless steel. I already have the fronts upgraded to stainless steel lines. The ones back here, I'll probably just order them. Hopefully they'll come in tomorrow. We'll get that all done during this entire process. Time for the axles. This should be the fun part. Typically the ones connected to the side connected to the diff is not really much of an issue, but I've heard nightmares on disconnecting it from the wheel bearing itself. And this car lived in New Jersey for about 5 years, so it should be interesting.
Child's play.
Getting serious over here. What do you call it again? Child's play?
Yes.
Yes.
Assume your position on this side.
I'm scared. This guy's holding a pretty hefty hammer. Ooh. You see that?
That's how you f***ing axle.
We don't use axle pullers around here. All right, so we're gonna f*** up a second axle now.
Move your sausage fingers.
That didn't work out too well. Okay, you gotta aim better, bro. So the good news, I don't need new wheel bearings, huh?
You don't need new hubs or bearings.
So the good news is I don't need new hubs and I don't need new wheel bearings. That's a win. Can we reuse those axles?
No. Unless you want to like file that down because we flattened the head.
They would have definitely not came out with the axle puller because if you observe very closely, that's rust there.
That's that New Jersey rust, baby.
Exactly. Now we get to take off the subframe, which would be remove the shocks, remove the springs, remove all the sensors, and then
Sound effects included? So after doing that with the axles, I think I can perfectly segue to this. If you don't want to do any of that outrageous labor yourself, you can just bring it over to the guys at PSI, Precision Sport Industries. They're located here in the Central Florida area. They specialize in BMW and Porsche when it comes to performance and maintenance. Consider this shop like a one-stop destination for your BMW. They do everything from like full-blown race cars, manual conversions, subframe reinforcement, rod bearings, all that good stuff. Make sure and check them out. I'll leave a link down in the description below to their YouTube channel and their Instagram page. They're working on this very special project for a customer. This E30 is getting a complete overhaul with an S54 swap motor, big brake kit, suspension jobs, subframe. everything, you name it, guys. And they're actually making episodes on this entire build on their channel, so make sure and check that out. Links are going to be down in the description below.
Unleash the unicorn. Vehicle Viral's working on his car.
This guy's making me work.
Yes.
Some of it at least, right? That's not too bad.
Dude, you better get used to it. This I ain't doing this by myself. You gotta do it with me.
Well, the good thing about having the shop to ourselves now is that I can do some of the stuff my work, some of the work myself as well, which is actually something that
Professional.
which is something that I've always wanted to do. It's just I didn't want to be on the jack stands at home in the garage, so I always kind of brought it here. Do I get some man points for doing some of this? According to my viewers, I get a little bit of points for doing some of the work myself. You know what kind of points I have? Filming and editing, which takes me like 10-12 hours to do. Oh, actually filming takes longer. Editing alone is like...
They're gonna be like, bro, why are you complaining? Like, just do the video. Okay, do the video yourself, bro.
Yeah, it's not easy. I don't just film and just upload it onto YouTube. It doesn't work that way. There's a process behind it. Tags, SEO,
Dude,
thumbnail, title.
If we did that and just uploaded all the footage, it would be so bad.
It would be like 4-hour footages.
Yeah, and it would
Probably
be like
longer.
a series, like you were watching on Netflix or something.
No, it doesn't work that way. The amount of editing and thought and just structure to the video that goes into it, it's a lot of work. So while, yes, I just film him do the stuff, it just makes it easier to explain to you guys what's going on, and then I gotta go home and edit for like 5 or 10 hours. So the final video that you guys see, which is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, is actually like a 20-hour process between filming and editing, just so you guys know.
And on Swap Depot, we have no structure. We just send it.
Swap Depot's channel, link down in the description below. He has an E90 and E36 as well. And apparently soon to get F90 M5.
Maybe. Dude, look at this New Jersey rust. Mint.
I'll tell you something. It's a lot easier when you get the power tools. So imagine if I did all the work on my car. It would take probably 5 times the length or time as you.
Yeah, you'll probably.
And I would upload like 1 video a month.
You'll probably be looking for a socket the whole time. Sound effects. You include sound effects and it's better.
Really?
Yeah.
Ready? Ooh.
See, I told you, sound effects help.
The sound effect power, dog.
You release all that energy into the bolt. Yep, that's broken. I'm just kidding, it's not.
AST, baby. Ta-da! So good news, we're almost done here. Just gonna remove the drive shaft here from the trans, the middle support here. We have the subframe bolts. There's 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. By doing that, this should allow it to sag. We're gonna have something here to support it. We have a few sensors, I believe, on this side. I think there's some on this side as well. And then that's it. It all comes down. There you go. Something that I kind of forgot to mention. We're dropping the subframe. To install the kit, you don't really have to drop the subframe, but since we're gonna swap out the regular OEM bushings for poly ones, that's why we dropped it. It'll just make things a little bit easier for us while we do that, and it'll make the process easier. But if you guys are trying to do this from home, and let's say you already have poly bushings, you already upgraded all of that, then you technically don't have to drop the subframe. But we did it to take the extra step. So quick note, guys, in order to properly get these axle stubs to fit into the diff, let me show you guys. You see how it inserts in here? See how it goes in, but with not much pressure I'm able to remove them. We're gonna have to modify the stubs. We're gonna have to shave off. I was speaking to Mike from Seems Legit Garage, about 2 millimeters, and then once we do that, they should go into the diff and click into place to the point where you can't really remove it by hand. He did tell me to tell you guys that if you do buy the kit, like, you know, going forward, you don't have to do that. They just come pre-modified for you guys, so it just clicks right into the LSD. You wouldn't have to do this modification to it, which we're about to do right now. The reason this is the case is because not every LSD is the same, and these come from G-Force, which is why for this particular diff we have to do that slight shave to get it to fit properly. All right, we took a little bit off the top. Let's see how it fits. I just put the camera down to use 2 hands. It's not coming out. I think we did a good job. That definitely clicked. Yeah. Yep. All done. Luckily for you guys, if you do get the kit, you don't have to do any of that. And like I mentioned on the video when we were installing the AST coilovers onto the car, we're getting the rear arms installed as well. Might as well, since everything's already taken apart. We have some toe arms here, spherical bushings, and then we also have camber arms, same concept, spherical bushings as well. So now I have like the ultimate adjustability for the rear end of the car, and it should be a very, very nice ride. If you guys are wondering where I got the control arms and the bushings, Drift HQ, that's what I went with. If you guys are interested in any of these parts right here, I'll leave links to Drift HQ's website where you guys can take a look at the parts yourself, and if you guys are interested, you can purchase something from them, since they pretty much offer everything for our cars when it comes to suspension. As you guys can see here, we're cooking marshmallows.
Sizzling.
Extra roast. In all seriousness, this is probably the easiest way to get subframe bushings out. Cook them up, soften up the rubber, hammer them out, and that's it. Trying to stabilize this with Puma BMW and performance shoes. Let's go. That's hot. Yeah, so we have this diff out. You need a diff, dog?
Sure, we can weld it.
We can weld it for you. But your car's a daily driver. Doing turns wouldn't be too much fun on a welded diff.
That's true. I mean, but I'll be able to put the power down a little bit.
That's the important part, bro.
E90 drift car?
All right, here we go. So we have both differentials next to each other. We have the lousy open diff that came from the 335, and then we have the Ford 8.8. This robust and beefy LSD. Interesting note about these open diffs. Earlier models actually came where you can unbolt, I guess, so you can modify the LSD inside of the pumpkin, but then I think that only really lasted for 1 year, and then they ended up welding them shut to the point where you can't really, I guess, build the inside by yourself. You kind of have to send it out to somebody to crack it open and do the work for you, and that can get pretty costly. So that's also an option. Yeah, I'd rather just go this route right here. And looking at both drive shafts side by side, surprisingly enough, this looks a lot bigger, beefier, it's more robust, but it weighs about the same. This actually might weigh a little bit less, to be honest. Hard to tell because it's still bolted onto the diff, but yeah, you're changing this subpar drive shaft for something like this that should be able to transfer the power a lot more efficiently.
Oh, nice. The inside came out.
Great.
Not what I wanted.
Swap Depot approved. Two more to go. Actually, there's that one back here, right? And the front ones too. Yeah. That's right. You hammer those out as well?
Me? Yeah.
Oh,
Other people? I don't know.
All right.
Would I follow this? Probably not.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing when you're doing this? I don't know.
I don't.
But I know.
So look what came in. The other subframe bushings I was talking about, they're a little softer. Obviously you still get performance because they're a lot stiffer than rubber themselves, but I can actually kind of compress these a bit compared to these. Strangely enough, these AKG ones, these very stiff plastic ones, yeah. Anyways, they don't have a metal insert like these. My guess is that these are so stiff that you don't really need them. With these, in order to not cause crazy amount of flex here on the mounting point, you kind of have to have that. But ideally for street use, you want to get a bit of performance, a noticeable amount of performance, but not kill, you know, how comfortable the ride is. This is the way to go. I think these are like 75H and these are like 90A. There's like a scale system for them, a rating per se. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these onto the subframe. Good thing about going with poly bushings too is they're a lot easier to install. Unlike the rubber ones, you got to get them pressed on. These kind of just slide in. Ali just went ahead and hammered them just a bit, a small tap, and that's it. Of course, adding some grease to the outside layer of it, that'll make it easier to insert as well. So we're briefly going to touch base here on the control arm since we're doing them right now. We won't spend too much time on it. That's not really the main focus of this video. Here's the OEM one, and here are the spherical ones.
The PMC Spherical Control Arm.
It's not something I was planning to swap out on the car, but you said it's very beneficial.
So yeah, because you get rubber bushings on OEM. Here you have metal, pretty much, but it's obviously still a ball joint type thing, and it prevents the suspension geometry of changing like over time, obviously, because the bushings wear out. This is stationary, and then obviously all of those arms are stationary, and the only one that's adjustable is the toe arm, which is in the back. But now you have adjustment here, you have adjustment up top, which is going to be your new.
That's why we have all these arms back here, guys, so everything's going to be adjustable.
Yeah, so that's why you have a new camber adjustment point now, and then you have a new toe arm as well that's going to go on, and that will be fully adjustable as well. So if you're going to go hot boy spec stupid camber where it's like -10, you can do that with this setup. But obviously we're not going that route. We just want more adjustment in general for the whole thing. So when you do install these, you want to make sure that you measure the correct length, so when you put these on, the alignment is not so out of whack. So whoever's adjusting the alignment, they can go off of the OEM-ish spec and then adjust from there. Because if you put them, let's say you overextend them, it's going to be hard to get the alignment back into whatever spec it was previously, and you're going to have a hard time adjusting the car on the alignment rack.
Correct, and I feel like it'll be a lot harder to even drive the car to the alignment rack.
Yes.
And shine.
It's my turn?
Yes.
Check it out, I already unbolted it off camera.
Wow, you're so good at this.
I went. It was done. So step number 1.
Cut zip tie.
Takes a lot of skill. Step number 2 is eyeball it. Ooh, it's already perfect, dog. You see? I do everything with my mind. I'm certified by JIS. In a few weeks, you're going to teach me how to what?
Wrong way. See, I even had to teach him how to use the tools. Right.
Well, these are some fancy snap-on tools that I can't afford.
Shut up.
Harbor Freight for the win, baby.
Shut up.
Let's snap to done.
Ta-da.
Complete.
Okay.
Complete. We're just going to time-lapse the rest of it, all right?
No.
All right, so here's a few things we did off camera. We cleaned off the subframe. It looks a lot better, very good shape, so we don't have to paint it. The diff mounting bushings, we also installed those since those came in right here. We also replaced the rubber bushings that were here originally since they didn't look like they were in the best shape to poly ones as well. Of course, all the subframe bushings are done as well. Installed the control arms, painted them in this wrinkle black. We also spent quite a bit of time trying to clean this off. Degreased it, sprayed it down. It didn't really do much to the color. We used the metal brush to kind of shave off some of the surface rust and some of the imperfections and stuff. It looks pretty good. We didn't get to the bottom side. We might just end up painting it. I don't want to paint it black just because it's gonna hide. I actually want it to show when you look underneath the car, so we'll see what we'll do about that, but it cleaned up very nicely. And we also got, since I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me about this, we got some upgraded lower shock mounts for the coilovers. Since we did the ASTs, we didn't replace the OEM one, and it's pretty bad.
Clapped out.
Clapped out, dog. I mean, you might as well take care of all of this stuff while you're here. Also, I didn't really talk about the, oh yeah, all the control arms are installed properly too. But anyways, yeah, you might as well take care of all of the stuff while the subframe's out. It's just much easier to do all of the stuff. Also, the stainless steel lines for the rear brakes came in, so we're also gonna get that installed. So it looks like we just gotta put stuff together and we're ready to put the subframe back into the car once we're done. All right, so we're moving on to the Ford 8.8 brackets to install it onto the car. We've never done anything like this, so we're just kind of going off what we think we know. But we do have a packet with the instructions, so we'll look over that as well. But it seems pretty self-explanatory. By the way, I know we're not really showing every single process step by step, but the Seems Legit Garage on their YouTube channel, they actually have like a DIY how to do this, like step by step with all like the little small details and stuff like that. So I'll leave a link to that down in the description below if you guys are interested in seeing that. Probably a lot more useful than what we're doing, and we're just kind of flying past a lot of the things that we have to do to get this done right.
Wow, it's like we know what we're doing. It's almost like we're... Ow, my head.
I'm learning.
Yeah, we're learning how to do this. They have a tutorial. We want to make sure we do it the right way. Like I said, their tutorial, link down in the description below.
I love when fits so you can just push it out by hand. I know. It's almost like we thought how to do this properly. The second one worked, because if I would have said that.
And that goes to the subframe. These two go to the subframe as well. These two mount the plate to the subframe. And yes.
According to Seems Legit, this is legit. Spherical Control Arm getting strong. Look at his veins.
Right. Here we go. We got the LSD installed, all the arms, the bushings, the axle. Time to reconnect it to the E90.
Yeah.
Axles, LSD. What are those stainless steel brake lines? Yes. Bushings, arms. Juicy. We got quite the color scheme going on here. Bottom mount's red, subframe bushings blue, diff bushings black, solid silver, and the yellow calipers I did have were actually I'm on the back side of the building painting them right now. Yeah, this looks meaty. Some big old cojones right there. Here's what the fitment of the LSD looks like underneath the 335. Obviously we haven't installed the drive shaft yet. That's gonna be following. But yeah, it's a bigger diff, but with the right brackets from Seems Legit Garage, it fits nicely in there, almost like it belongs there. So most of it is almost complete. We've been time-lapsing a lot of stuff because it's boring stuff I don't think you guys want to watch. We're gonna move on to the drive shaft now, see how that goes.
Make sure you just leave it loose like this. Don't leave doing pulls. It flies out.
Don't do that. I wonder why they chose to go with gold.
Because we rich.
Curl it for me, bro. Curl it for me. Just give me 2 reps. Damn. All right, so here we go. Here's the drive shaft. These bolts are a bit of a pain to tighten just because of the clearance to even get a wrench in there. But anyways, we made it work. You have the spacer here. We got the drive shaft here. According to this guy, who came and fit the heat shield up there, so that's just gonna stay off. Connects to the Ford 8.8 cojones LSD right here. We got the axles, everything's good to go. We just gotta tighten up some things, put everything back together, and we'll start the car for the first time. What do we got left?
Yes. We gotta torque spec these and the axle stubs, whatever the hell they're called.
True. And we gotta get the brakes back on too.
The Bluetooth calipers gotta go back on. And then tighten these so you don't get vibration, and then put fluid in it.
Yeah, can't forget the fluid.
Yeah, we're putting Aquafina in it.
Yeah.
Zephyr Hill. Smart water.
Definitely not Zephyr Hill.
Okay, smart water.
Added diff fluid to the Ford 8.8. We bled the brakes, and we're gonna turn the car on for the first time, and we don't have an exhaust.
Yep.
So it's gonna be loud. Yes.
I was literally about to stall it. There's no load. It's so weird. Weird. It feels like I'm revving it on neutral.
And it's showing like 15 miles an hour.
Weird.
I'll give you guys one more rundown so you guys can see everything here.
Oh yeah. And obviously we need an alignment because all of these are still loose right now.
Oh, the arms?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we gotta get an alignment so we don't hit U-turns without trying. So yeah, here's what the drive shaft looks like. So shield, we're gonna just dispose of that. LSD, axles, control arms, of course the ASD coilovers that we installed not too long ago, bushings, and of course we just gotta get the exhaust on here and we're ready to roll. So this is where we're gonna finish the video since pretty much everything's done. For part 2 or part 3, I don't know how I'm gonna split these episodes up. We'll do driving, some hard driving, so we can really test out the kit, and then I'll give you guys my impressions. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe, that way you guys don't miss out on that episode. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.